Vortex team, I believe. Third in that pool being Otahu, and fourth in that pool Mount Albert. So we will very quickly have a look at what that means in terms of the games coming up next. So we know that Mount Albert will be playing at 2:15. Unconfirmed who they'll play yet, depending on results from this one. Otahu are going to be playing also at 2:15. Again, unconfirmed who they will be playing, but they will be our live stream game here on field number 1. And Point Chevalier will be playing at 2:45. We wait to see who they will play. So Hibiscus Coast through top of their pool, and we wait to see who they will come up against next.
Well, at the SportSafe ARL Nines, is that a shock or is that a massive surprise that the Hibiscus Coast Raiders have come out on top of that pool?
Well, it's certainly a surprise, but you know, full due respect to them, they played excellently through pool play and are deserving of their top rank. So we get underway now for another one, and it is Bailey Thomas who dribbles the kick down towards the right of the field here at Stanmore Bay, and Point Chev with first use of the ball.
What's he going to call that? He's called that a hand in the ruck, and the little general teams just seem a little bit unorganised. Bit of chat happening out here. The young number 5 from Marist Saints, who you've alluded to during the course of today. Corey, his name is? Bailey Thomas. He certainly had a fairly good tournament, and he's directed traffic very well. Got a mouthful happening there. Point Chevalier down the short side. Turn the ball back in. Marist need to contain the player. Couple in there, and they're lying on him, slowing the ruck speed down. Just one off the ruck. Oh, they've offloaded again. And really made a little bit out of nothing there. Point Chevalier heading towards the uprights.
Both of these teams having their struggles through pool play. Of course, we saw the Little General team just 2 games earlier on this field as they break out to the left.
Is my favourite centre over there, Lau Pepe, coming in off the wing.
So Marist now ruck it out from about 30 off their own line. Little show, a little go. Nothing doing.
Fabulous down here at the Hibiscus Coast Raiders, the home ground at Stanmore Bay. Please come and join us. We've got a lot more football coming up throughout the afternoon. And, of course, we're live streaming the ARL Nines fixture sponsored by SportSafe. And massive run there. Here comes the big pivot.
He's
still going.
Doesn't know what to do when he's into
still
open
going.
Space, Troy, but hard to pull down, that's for sure. Takes a few extra efforts from Point Chev, and now they've got front football here, Marist. What can they do with it? Gap out wide, and that will be a try. Scored in the corner by the number 12, Fernando Nicarima. Sorry, it's Nimia Ilu.
And fair to say that came off the back of a great big charging run from the number 22, who is in double teapot mode, heading towards the halfway mark for maybe a little cold refreshment.
And he deserves one after that run. Excellent run from Leo Pepe.
Fabulous day, as I said, down here at the Hibiscus Coast Raiders. And if you are watching the live stream and you're at home and you're supporting any one of these clubs, please share, tag, distribute it through and amongst your own social media pages. Our website is aucklandleague.co.nz. Free stream for the SportSafe ARL Nines, and gives you a good taste of what our football looks like heading into the 2017 season for the Auckland Rugby League competitions. Nice little wind coming through just to keep the breeze on the players' faces, and it's just a little bit of moisture, spitting a little bit. That's not going to harm anybody as these guys reset. And Marist re-pull that ball back from the kickoff.
Clever kickoff.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see what they do now to mount a bit of pressure.
So Marist now working up towards the sticks. Middle of the park, Taplin there with a good tackle around the legs. Thomas now handling the ball, shifts it out towards the left, and they've got space again. Marist goes straight through. Nice play there from Marist, who have rather inconveniently changed all of their shirt numbers from the last game, and therefore
Simon, number 5?
left us a little hard to identify the numbers. I think it may be. We do apologise for not being able to bring you the names, but Marist today having a few issues with the jerseys and unable to identify some of the players.
However, we can identify the coach, and that's Brendan. And he's over the far side there, and he'd be quite happy with this result so far, as the Marist Saints are building a wee bit of pressure heading towards the game. And there's a young lady looking at me about to say something. Hello, young lady.
So Marist preparing for us to get back underway here.
That's okay.
And they've been excellent so far in the first half, Marist, so interesting to see how they can kind of back that up. They do have arguably probably the biggest side here at the tournament, so interesting to see how they go in the latter part of the game when the pace starts to pick up a little bit. That kickoff's gone wrong. Short one, which results in a penalty, so PtChEV.
I'd say arguably one of the biggest sides in the North Island.
Yes. Probably got a combined weight just about of the North Island. To be honest, they are a huge team, and force an error there from PtChEV. Get things back underway. And Troy, Marist are an interesting one, I guess, from a Fox point of view. They're not a club who tends to change too much year on year. They've got a lot of players who tend to remain loyal to the club. You know, you've been out visiting the clubs this off-season. What's the kind of feeling you get from Marist this year?
So Marist are a very strong club around their legacy. You know, there's a lot of families that have had strong ties. You know, whether there's a Catholic piece in there, a Christian piece in there, or just, you know, the brotherhood of these players at them. Now, they do it for love. No one there's on a paid roster. And as I said, you know, it's all about their legacy of their forefathers that have played before them. And some of the guys there have been asked about, you know, maybe transferring or moving to other clubs. And there's some good quality, talented footballers there. And they don't, and they stay there, and that's, you know, to be commended. Something around the loyalty piece, especially at grassroots football. And they just, as I'm talking, Point Chevalier may have darted down the left edge there. Has that gone in? And we get a big yep from Mary Pussy standing on the side of, sitting on the side of the. She was standing. She's now sitting. She's having a rest. She's carrying our Auckland Rugby League camera around, and that is a tenuous job. Which, nope, she looks like she's recovered from that, and she might even get another photo off for us. So Point Chevalier in over on the far side there, and just back to that original question, mate. A lot of legacy stuff there. It's not about the money. They pay for the loyalty. They pay for the honour. And pre-season for this year, they had a lot of boys down there. It was probably one of their biggest pre-season trainings over the last couple of seasons, and all the big guys will certainly get encouraged. So it was really good to see, and I think they're going to be a surprise side this year, along with the Te Atatu Roosters.
Right, there we go. Record that. Put it down for August. Troy Hardy's predictions. Te Atatu and Marist to be among the surprises this year. Of course, Te Atatu coming up after winning the Sharman Cup last year, beating West Auckland rivals Bay Roskill in the final. The Rev O'Neill coach side not here today, but no doubt gearing up for the start of the Fox Memorial Premiership season, which kicks off on April 8-9 with a big double-header. It's part of the Auckland Rugby League kind of festival to start the season.
And knowing Revel, he's probably fishing. So, like I said, I think they are going to be a surprise club, Corey. They've got a lot of speed. They're not a big team, but they're a very fit team. And it's always encouraging when a Sharman team comes up like Richmond and compete and, you know, end up halfway up the Fox ladder as opposed to competing and getting beaten and sent back down. So, you know, I think their main objective is to stay up, get up, stay there, and not return to Sharman after the 2017 season.
And while we've been talking about the future, Troy, we've just experienced something pretty significant in the present. A nice little try from young Bailey Thomas. Nice little regather of his own kick, and he goes in under the post. So, well, we've seen some good tries scored today, and that one right up there. And then puts the cream on top with a conversion. And Marist well and truly in control in this one now.
I fear now at the half-time hooter that you may not ask me another question for at least another 10 minutes, Corey.
Well, never mind. We can't keep up with all the action. Of course, Troy, we're only mere mortals here at the ARL Sportsafe Nines, but a fantastic day of footy so far, and this one a pretty one-sided one. At this point, Marist with a 14 points to 4 advantage over the PtChevGen Little Generals as we break for half-time.